Hi friends and fellow shoebox packers, welcome back to Blessed and OCC Obsessed. Just wanted to give you fair warning, this is not your usual unboxing. This is more of a Q&A, get to know me, why I do what I do, what some of my opinions are, and maybe get some inspiration on how you can get more involved. So stick around. All right, so I hope you stuck around for this video. A couple weeks ago, a dear friend on my OCC Shoebox Packers started a Tiffany Tuesday on the page to help grow my channel. And I also started receiving some questions from people needing some encouragement because they were being discouraged. It seems like this time of year, as we start amping up the packing season, the enemy starts doing what it can to discourage the shoe boxes from going out. And that kind of is the reason I'm involved in the way that I am. So I asked on my Facebook group, if I was to do a Q&A type video, what kind of things would you like me to talk about? And a lot of them had to do with why I got involved, what it's like volunteering year-round and at the processing center. There's a few questions on how I deal with being discouraged. And so I tried to organize it, and I was going to lay all these questions out, and I just couldn't do it. Right now is a very busy time of year for me because of the volunteer work that I do, and also, creating these videos. So I am just going to fly by the seat of my pants, and I'm going to go through these questions, and we'll just go from there. One of the most common questions that I have been asked was what it was like or why I volunteer year-round. That is the easiest question to answer. The first time I went to the processing center with our group, I was just a shoebox packer. I take that back. I'd actually been a voluntold church project leader for a year when the area coordinator, who's a dear friend and inspiration to me, talked my husband and I into going down to experience the processing center. She kept saying, it will change your life. She wasn't kidding. If you've never volunteered to process at the processing center, I encourage you to do so. It is encouraging and it is inspiring, and it is the reason I became involved year-round. Just those 2 days opened my eyes to the fact that I had a lot to learn yet. I had a lot to learn about the real importance of this ministry. I had a lot to learn about packing well-rounded boxes. And I had a lot to learn about the true spiritual impact of what we were doing and how it affected the recipient eternally. And I think I just mentioned it, but most importantly, I had a lot to learn about how I packed a shoebox. And I'd been doing it for about 15 years, and I knew that if I had a lot to learn, there were other people just like me who had a lot to learn, and I wanted to inspire and encourage. So that evolved into me doing some YouTube research on recipients. And then I saw my first YouTube unboxing video. And I do believe it was Denise Rogers' channel that I saw first, which I am so thankful, because she is a fantastic inspiration. And I just soaked it all up. And I remember talking to others about what I was experiencing and sharing with them, what I was seeing, and realizing that I may have an opportunity to reach my church and my community by doing videos myself, because I had a better chance of getting them to watch them because I was the person doing them. So I started doing videos. And the first couple of videos that I did, there was some comments that were discouraging. It takes a thick skin to do these videos because there are people who disagree with you. And these people almost caused me to quit. And then Denise reached out to me and encouraged me and gave me a reason to keep going, to realize that I wasn't the only one who was being discouraged. And so I want to speak love and encouragement into you, because Satan likes to use every foothold he can to encourage people to not share the good news of Jesus. And that's how I view discouragement. And that is why I continue to do what I do. That is why the OCC Shoebox Packers page was created, to create a safe place where we can encourage and inspire one another and share ideas and share printables for free, to share, so you can share on my Facebook group, and you can be inspired by things on my Facebook group. And I can do my darndest to make sure that when you ask questions, and you want honest opinions, that they are given to you in a loving way. They're not always going to agree with you. And I have seen that. I've seen that recently. But I am so proud of the people on our OCC Shoebox Packers page, because although they disagree with some of the things that others like to pack, they are doing it with graciousness. And I am so thankful for that. That means that I am accomplishing what I set out to accomplish. And that is probably way off track from this original question, but it kind of all ties together. I got involved technically as a year-round Connect volunteer with the church relations team, because I want to encourage others to pack shoeboxes. The more shoeboxes we pack, the more children we reach, and not just the children, but their families. And I feel like once you get me talking about this ministry that I love, that I can hopefully encourage, and I will do my best to help those get more involved. And that, as far as the Connect team, is as a church relations volunteer. And we have a fantastic team. There's other year-round volunteer positions that there's the prayer team, and there is the logistics team, and there is the community relations team. There is a lot of ways to get involved year-round. And if you love this ministry as much as I think you do, because you're watching my video, I encourage you to reach out on the Samaritan Purse webpage and find out what opportunities are available for you in your community. I'm going to come all the way back to the beginning. If you've never volunteered at the processing center, I encourage you to do so. It is life-changing, and it is a lot of fun as well. If you come to the Dallas Processing Center, you will have an opportunity we can meet. I can say hi in person. Sticking with the question about volunteering, when I volunteer as a table lead down at the processing center, one of the things that is very shocking to me is there are a lot of volunteers who know nothing about Operation Christmas Child. They are filling a volunteer hour slot with their work, with their maybe their sports team, maybe their scouts team. And it is an opportunity to speak love and truth into these people as well, and share the gospel with them, to share why we do what we do, and hopefully encourage other shoebox packers. Someone asked if I had a funniest experience as a table coach. And I don't really recall a funniest experience. I have had a lot of fun experience because I work in an office. I have a full-time job, and it is a medical office. And I work with some great people. But spending 8 hours, and we're talking, I work the evening shift with other Christ-loving people, is so encouraging, inspiring, and oh my goodness, empowering. I mean, it is a phenomenal opportunity. And that is a big word, because that is just how I felt the last 2 years. This will be my 3rd year volunteering as a team table coach. It is an experience that I am so thankful I get to have, to be surrounded by other Christ-loving volunteers working towards the same goal. And I wouldn't have the opportunity if I wasn't a year-round Connect volunteer. So there's another reason to consider getting involved year-round, because as a year-round volunteer, you can have the opportunity to be a table coach as well. I think I kind of touched on this next question about whether I have been discouraged, and if I have, what has kept me going. Yes, I have been discouraged by comments on my YouTube videos. And I was discouraged on another Facebook group because I disagreed with their opinions. And I was kicked out of that group, and I was discouraged. But it also fueled me, because I truly believe in this ministry, and I believe that it is a Christ-driven. God is 100% in control of this ministry, and He has blessed me with an opportunity to be a part of it. And I want to do the same for others. I want to encourage others and hopefully prevent them from being so discouraged that they quit packing shoe boxes. The enemy would love for that to happen, and I am not going to give the enemy a chance. And so you all are the reason, and my love for Christ is the reason that I keep doing what I do. And I love being able to encourage you. I love providing, using my talent for crafting, because I love to craft. I love to craft for my shoe boxes, but I love to craft for you as well and give you ideas, because the Bible tells us over and over again to be in community with other fellow believers. And even though we are not in the same town, we may not even be in the same state, we are in this together. And I love that. I love that we are all working for the big C. Not our local churches, not ourselves, but we are all working together for the greater good, which is spreading the good news of Jesus Christ. What age and gender do I like to pack for? Well, I typically lean more towards the 10 to 14-year-old group, boy and girl. It seems to come easier for me. Not 100% sure why, but I typically find those items easily. I pray before I go shopping, and it seems to be what God puts in my path. I have a lot of fun with the 2 to 4-year-old age group. I think toddlers are amazing in their innocent way that they believe and accept the good news. Those two age groups 10 to 14 and 2 to 4 receive the least amount of shoe boxes. And so I've kind of made it my mission to pack more towards those, but I don't totally disregard the 5 to 9-year-olds because sometimes I have items that will suit that age group well. Now I want to throw something out there that my area coordinator shared with me one time when I talked about that age group. And she said that one of the things that is unpreventable with these distribution events is you don't always know who's going to show up, what age and gender is going to show up. And so the boxes may not have enough for this age and gender. And if you think about it, the 5 to 9-year-old is a good option for the younger group and even the older group because it's a middle ground for both of them. I don't know if I explained that well, but like someone asked me recently a concern about this particular subject. Balls can be enjoyed by all ages. School supplies can be needed by all ages. The hygiene items, the toothbrushes, fidget toys, there are stuffed animals can be loved by all ages. Most of these children are parts of family. God has a plan for these boxes, and pray about them. Don't stress over them, and just rely on your faith that you are packing what you're supposed to be packing. A lot of other questions were centered around my packing likes and my packing habits. And so I'm going to wrap up this Q&A with a little bit about that. I have a packing room that used to be my son's room. I think I converted it within 24 hours of his moving. But it is organized with shelves and plastic shoe bins and cardboard boxes that are labeled. I'm a very label-oriented person. And I typically start a box in a 2-gallon bag. When I start finding items, I'm a theme packer, if you can't tell. And so the majority of my boxes are themed. And so a 2-gallon bag will start with whatever theme is going in that bag. And I will collect items as God places them in my path until I feel like I have enough things for the theme. And then I have my list. I have a large picture. I think it's about a 2-foot frame. No, maybe it's a 2-foot by 3-foot frame. And I'm sorry, I'm looking over here at it. And it has a list of what I don't want to forget for all my boxes. I want to make sure there's a wow item. I want to make sure that there are the basic school supplies and a ball and definitely a plush. If the plush is not the wow item, I want to make sure it's a plush. I like to make sure there's a clothing item, whether it's a shirt or a pair of socks or maybe both. I like to make sure that there are filler toys, that there is definitely a coloring book and crayons or a coloring book and colored pencil. I have a list of things that I like to make sure that's in every box. Last year I adopted the making of hair kits. I've got little hair baggies already pre-made with hair clips and hair rubber bands, so they're easy to grab. I've got little hygiene kits already pre-made with a toothbrush and a comb and nail clippers and chapstick that are easy to grab. I feel like I need to get a little bit more organized than that, but it's really hard because with this theme-minded packing that I've got, it kind of disrupts any pre-prepping. because I like my pencil bag to be the same color as the majority of things in the box. I like the washcloth to match as well. So I'm still a work in progress to make my packing a little more organized. Part of my routine is I keep track of every box that I pack on a Excel spreadsheet. That way, if I hear from a recipient, I can be reminded of what was in the box if they just list a few items. It also helps me keep track of how many of a certain age and gender I packed, because I lean more towards the 10 to 14-year-olds and the 2 to 4s. So I try to keep track of that and keep it balanced. I also try to keep track of my bulk, what I have in bulk, because I buy year round. I guess that is probably the most helpful tip that I can give. That's part of my habit, is I do buy year round when things are on clearance. As we all are seeing, cost of things are rising, and I know I'm going to pack shoe boxes next year. I know I'm going to pack shoe boxes 2, 3, 4 years from now. And I want to make sure I have items to pack that I can still afford to pack. But that's what works for me. It may not work for you. But there are a lot of great YouTubers that I encourage you to follow, because they tell you when things are on sale. Just start a little space in your closet with some items that you know that you want to have. I have a question that was asked if I have a favorite thing or something that other people pack that I don't pack. That's a tough question to answer, because I don't want to discourage anybody from packing what they feel should go in a shoebox. So I think I'm going to skip that question. I was going to answer it, but that is one thing that I want to make sure that all my viewers know about me, that I have my opinions on what I like to pack and what I don't like to pack, and so do you. But as long as you are trusting God and it is in line with what is allowed by Samaritan's Purse, then don't be discouraged. Again, encourage one another. Feel free to reach out to those of us who, you know, that you are leaning on for inspiration and encouragement, and ask us. We are always welcome for any questions. I think the ones that I'm speaking for will also point you towards Samaritan's Purse for all definitive answers, because they have been doing this a long time. I thank God every day for being a part of this wonderful ministry, and for being able to do YouTube videos and have a Facebook group that allows me to encourage and inspire you to continue to pack shoe boxes. And I am thankful that you all have liked and subscribed to this channel and have joined me on our OCC Shoebox Packers page. The year is about to wrap up. It's getting very busy with collection week just being 3 weeks away. And I've got at least one more box to pack that all of it has come together yet. But that box will be shared with you all. I may have another boxing up with a video about how to find items right now in your stores. And I'm not sure if I will have another video or not. I just wanted to put that out there. If you don't see a video from me as often as you had, things have just gotten really busy. But I appreciate your all support and sticking with me. And I hope that you will continue to do so. And I hope you will join our Facebook group if you haven't joined it yet. We would love to have you. And I hope you have fun packing your shoe boxes. It's almost that time, guys, to turn them in. Thank you all again. I hope that this video has encouraged you and inspired you in some way. and I hope you've learned a little bit more about me, and feel free to ask me questions on Facebook, through this channel. You can even private message me. Again, thank you all, and I hope to see you in my next video. Happy packing.